Okay, so here we go. This is Master NCP signing back on, and I've got a little project I'm working on. It's my Honda 2002 Rancher ES, and today I'm going to be putting a winch on it, particularly this one, a Super Winch 3000, I think. Yes. That's it right there. And I've got the fair lead, and I bought this extra, and there's the hook. That is actually out of the back of my folder. That's not really important. And I've got my adapter plate. I was told online I had to buy this adapter plate. It was like 50, 60 bucks. Got it on Amazon.com. So I have seen videos online, and it didn't go into any real depth or detail on, how to really put this on one of these older models. They just usually show pictures. So this video will be kind of skipping in, and it's not going to show you all the install. Most of it's common sense if you know what you're doing. But I'll try to give you some hints, tips, some things I've run into. And okay, let's go ahead and get this going. Alright, so we've gotten to point 1 at least, and I decided to raise the front of the Ranger up to get up underneath it, to give me a little bit more room. I don't like cramped spaces. I'm going to try to make this as comfortable as I can. I think that I'm going to have to remove this, and maybe this front part, and maybe this. I don't know. I'm not really sure what I'm going to have to do. But when I took the wheels off, I noticed that there was a lot of dirt buildup. I don't know if you guys can see it here, and this rubber seal. These are seal drum brakes. This is the before, and I just went over here and cleaned this one. Go ahead and get these turned where you can see it. It's completely clean all the way around. Went around this seal, had sand and dirt all in it. I'm sure it'll be fine one way or the other, but yeah, that's step 1. Now on to step 2. Okay, so we're back. Anyway, on this step, I've got the wheels clean. They're all clean. Everything's good to go. Took the seat off. It's over there. No big deal. I kind of jumped the gun and decided on a spot of where I wanted to mount my winch at, or the winch controls rather. And basically, I've seen a lot of them. Here, I don't know if you can see it. It's right here. Install went in very well, very easy. Got a cable tie on there that matches everything. And I fed that through the bottom here. Past this bezel thing, or the dash. All this fancy stuff here. Really big expensive stuff. Anyhow, so I put it here up beside the starter. And I know that probably some of you are thinking, well, it needs to go up here. It's always up here. And I've seen that too. But I've been riding long enough to know that in the event that if I roll it or something and that's sticking up, I don't want to bend or break this or to damage this actual apparatus here. So it's pretty well protected right here. But you got a rear mirror right here. I know I've got a rear mirror right here. But see, that's how they work. So yeah. These rear mirrors are really nice. I got them off of Amazon, pretty cheap. I did have to buy this new bolt from Lowe's in case you guys get them. And I'm sorry I don't remember the number or what they are, but I really like them. I've got another one. I haven't installed yet up here. I got to get a bolt for it to get it going. But anyway, back to this. Yeah, so it's on there. Say like if I'm driving, you got all your controls here. And all you do if you're hanging on to something, so like if you're in a mud hole and you can't get out and somebody reaches and grabs it, and then you can just move over, out or in, And the way the controls are to go closer into the four-wheeler, it's in. If you want to go out, it's out. You know, just the way. I just thought it was a little better, personally. I mean, to each his own. If you want to put it here or there or wherever. And let me talk about one other thing. There's an auxiliary if you want to do it by a cord that comes with the kit. And you can drill. I've seen some people drill holes either here or somewhere in this area, and they look pretty neat. I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to take it and it's going to come out probably right around here where it kind of hangs down, or I may just tuck it up under here. And the reason being is I may get me another bike someday, and I may want to take this winch off this model and put it on the other bike. And if I do that, then I'll have damaged the original plastic, which I don't want to do that. Because as you can tell, you know, as old as this bike is, I'm very particular about it. Yes, I do go mudding in it, and yes, I do have the fun in it. I just take care of it. These machines are too expensive, at least for me, to ruin just out of due of negligence. And I'm a big proponent of keeping it clean and this, that, and the other. But anyhow, so now I'm fixing to actually start part one, finally, of taking this stuff off. And I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I think we're on step 3. I meant to say steps 2 in the earlier one, but I'm sorry, I forgot. Okay, on this one, I've taken off the rack and the brush guard, which is right here. Left all the bolts in. If you could see that, you know, it's not really much to this front end, just plastic and some lights. The rigidity comes from when you're putting all this stuff together. So don't worry if it droops, it's no big deal. What I'm fixing to do now is take this plate right here that I got from Amazon and put it, I think it goes right here. Alright, winch will go back there, and the hardware and stuff, and yeah, so that'll be it. So I think that's right, not sure. I ought to probably start looking at the instructions. I'm just guessing. Alright, time to get the instructions. Alright, step 4. Before I could mount the winch, I decided to go ahead and put it on the actual mount itself. What I found was something very, very disturbing. There were only 3 nuts in the casing. 1, 2, 3, 4, but there were only 3 that Super Winch put in there. There were supposed to be 4. So I had to take this off, like the little Allen bolts, and it popped off, had a spring, and well, I didn't take much of it apart because I didn't want. I'm scared I wasn't going to be able to get that together. I put a nut in the back of it, and it fit in fine. And as you can see, it's bolted on just fine. As so. Now I'm trying to put it on the actual four-wheeler itself. So here we go. All right, now. We are on step 5, I believe, and let me show you what I've gotten done. Now you got to know or realize that the power comes from the battery, not the switch, because you didn't know that. I'm sure some of you do, but just saying. Battery's back here, and I've ran my power lines. I've had to take this panel off. Just pops out. These little Honda, these little pop pins. Take it very carefully, unless you want to scratch it all up. Flathead screwdriver, pop it out, it all pops off. Real easy. As you can tell, I ran the wires, the positive and negative through here, cable ties, plus I put them in the factory ties. Ran them over here, and that should go over to this, which is the big switcher, which all of this will hook into. Alright? So, the second step after this, once I get those wires running, is the actual wires from here. I'm going to run on this side. Let me go over here. Also, in case you didn't know, your fuse box for your four-wheeler is right here. Pop this little thing off. Alrighty. It goes in between your rack fits in here, pop, pop, and you're there. All right, now we're gonna go over here. And as you can see, I've done the same to this side. And I'm gonna wrap my wires under this frame right here. On the top of the frame, I hope. Plastic gas tank, which is good. This is where the air comes in at. Okay, and the wires will come here. I'm probably gonna mount this. Probably something like this. Up, if I can. Right here. On somewhere up here. But I'm not really sure. This tire in the way. I might have to take that tire off so I can get a little bit more leverage in there. But I will show you the wiring that I did for the actual winch itself. Now the winch is bolted onto the plate, but the plate is just temporarily put here. Here's the winch. Here's my positive. Here's my negative. These little black boots, make sure you use these. There's 4 more to put on the actual switch. But this is the wires going here. Yeah, I'm gonna pull this back out. I was going to put it down this side, but it was just too many cables. And again, I don't want to put too many cables, and maybe it's giving some moving parts. So yeah, that's it. That's just sitting there. I've got 1 bolt on that side holding it up, but that's where it's going to go. The actual winch itself, and the fairly right there. Come out right here. Alright, I know it's flimsy. Oops. Alright, so that ends step 5. And I'll be going on to step 6. Right. Alright, we're back. This is step number 6. This is very crucial. This is finding the ignition wire. Okay, this little red wire that turns everything on. That turns power onto the box back here. It says it's okay to use these. It makes it hot if need be. Okay, so it makes it hot. I decided this is use something off the ignition right here, and that's fine. And I found the ignition wires. I was going to cut into them and splice them. I used a voltmeter and I found which one it was. But the instructions said that you have to use a fusible link, and I didn't know if it was fusible. But then I thought of this. And I got online and I looked at some forums. And they said if you use this 12-volt outlet, it's the white and black wire, splice into it, it's on the fusible link. Of course it's fusible because it's an outlet. So that right there will let you know that it's okay to use. And right there you can see where I've spliced into it. We're going to get the camera to focus in on that. Alright, this is a little doodad that comes from the phone company. It's called a Scotch lock. And what it does, it has a bus bar in it, and you put 3 wires in it. You crimp it down. You can use, let me see if I got my tool. I had a crimper tool. I don't know what I did with it. I just had it in my hands. Oh, here it is. It's slid down here. This is the crimper tool. When you put that on, you pop it, and crimp that down. And this is filled with dielectric grease, so water will never get in there. Now when I get this done, I'm going to take this all up. I'm going to take right here. Take this all up, tuck it in there nice and neatly. Plug it back in to the wiring harness, which is right underneath here. This big bus bar. Well, it's not a bus bar, it's just the bar where all the wires connect in. And then, when you do that, it should be hot. I'm going to do the exact same thing at the end of this wire, which will control this switch, that switch, and then the other auxiliary switch if I want to do a remote switch, which is right under here. Right here. Alright. So, once I get that done, step 6 will be done. On to step 7.